Okay, good afternoon, Algebra 1 students. The next lesson is solving two linear equations by graphing. So let's take some notes. A system of equations is two or more equations. The two equations that follow comprise a system of equations. This is a system of equations. A system of two linear equations can be solved by graphing them and then observing where they intersect. The intersection point, the ordered pair where they intersect, is the solution of the system. Let's see some examples. Okay, you'll need some graph paper, or you can just graph this in your notes. So let's get started. We have these two equations, and we're going to graph them, and then we're looking for the point of intersection. So we start with the y-intercept, which is 2, and keep in mind this is a little hard to do on my iPad, so if I make mistakes, bear with me. Alright, that y-intercept is 2, we're looking at this one, and the slope is negative 2, so down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, and so on. So I'm going to graph that line. Okay, so that line is graphed, and now I need to graph the next line, and I start at negative 4, and my slope is up 1 over 1. Slope is 1. So I go there, and I go there, and I've already found my point of intersection, so I'm just going to draw the line as best I can, and I see that the point of intersection is going to be right there, and that is the solution to the system. So now I just have to identify that point, and that point is 2, negative 2. And that's how you solve a system by graphing. You're looking for the point of intersection. Let's try the next one by graphing them. So write the problem down, 2x minus 8 and negative x plus 1, and graph and look for the intersection. So first we start at negative 8, which is right there, and then my slope is 2 over 1, so I go up 2 over 1 and so on, and I'm just going to keep going and graph that line. So now that line is graphed. Now I'm going to graph the next line, so I'll start at plus 1, my y-intercept, and then I'll go down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, and I've just found my point of intersection right there. And that point just happens to be over 3 down 2, so 3, negative 2. All right, let's do another one. All right, with these two equations, we have to solve for y. They need to be in the correct form. So I'm going to start with the first one and just solve for y. And once I solve for y, then I can graph it. So I'm just going to add x to both sides, and I get negative 3y equals x plus 3, and then divide by negative 3. And so I get y equals negative 1/3 x minus 1. So I'm going to go ahead and graph that. At negative 1 is my y-intercept, and then a slope of negative 1/3, so down 1 over 3, down 1 over 3. So I'm going to continue and graph this line. Okay, so there it is. So now I'm going to solve for y on the other equation. So I will do that. First by subtracting 2x. I get 6y is equal to negative 2x minus 18. Then divide by 6, and you know this drill well. Y equals negative 26x, which is negative 1/3 x minus 3. And I'm noticing something. I'm noticing that I have the same slope in both of these. So I have an m of a negative 1/3 here and an m of a negative 1/3 here. And I notice that my y-intercepts are different. So what does that mean when I have the same slope but my y-intercepts are different? That means that the lines are parallel. But I need to go ahead and graph it. So I'm going to do that. I go to negative 3, which is here, and then down 1 over 3, down 1 over 3. And so I will graph this line, and then we'll be able to see that they are parallel. So how do I solve that solution? I say if they are parallel lines, there is no solution because they are parallel and never intersect. All right, let's do another example. Okay, so we're going to solve for y and solve these equations. So the first one I will write x plus 4y equals 4, and then I subtract x. I ought to play music while I'm doing this, since we kind of know how to do this part already. So we've done this like a lot of times. So I get negative 1/4 x, and if I divide it by 4, that means plus 1. Okay, so that's the first one. I'm going to go ahead and graph that at plus 1, and then down 1 over 4, down 1 over 4, if I can count correctly, and draw a line. So now I'm going to do the other equation. So I have a negative 2x minus 8y equals negative 8. When I was in school, I used to love to listen to music while I was doing math because it was just, especially problems like these where it's kind of mindless, and once you know how to do it and you've done it a million times, just listen to music, and it's kind of calming, I think. So, all right, here we go. Y equals negative 1/4 x minus, plus 1, because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. And notice what we get. The exact same equation. So the exact same equation means that the two lines are on top of each other, and there are infinite number of solutions. That means there are the same line. So infinite number of solutions. Okay, let's see. I believe that's it for the lesson. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I'm sure I'll be happy to give you homework.